as part of your job as a police officer, were you attempting to figure out what was going on?
Yes.
What were your actions to try to figure out what was going on?
Initially, try to figure out where the crime scene was the primary function that we were trying to figure out.
Okay. And did you confirm the address on the house?
Yes. So the three of us eventually made it to the back of the residence. There was some initial confusion. I contacted dispatch and requested that they clarify if we were at the correct residence.
Okay. And at some point, did you open up or did someone else open up the garage?
Yes.
What, if anything, did you see inside the garage?
So when the garage was opened, I saw the deceased Grace just in front of that door. So for clarification, the house and the garage, it's a detached garage. So when we got that door initially opened, I seen the deceased. At some point in time, I pushed a little bit further into the garage. It looked like it had been converted into like a makeshift bedroom, so it's very difficult to navigate trying to get all the way into the garage. But I did observe, so it had been to the right of the door. It was, I guess, a table or a dresser of some sort. I don't exactly recall, but there was a sword on that item.
Okay. Now, Detective, you said that you pushed into the garage. What do you mean by that?
Like I tried to get further into the garage.
Okay. Was there anything stopping you?
Yes, like I said, it was converted. It appeared to be converted into like a makeshift bedroom, but there was trash, there was clothing, there was all sorts of items.
Okay. And so were those items preventing you from opening up that door all the way?
I don't recall if we could open the door all the way or not. To my recollection, the door was opened pretty wide.
Okay, then were those items preventing you from walking all the way into the garage?
Yes, and also there was the deceased that was almost directly right there by the door as well.
Okay, great. When, as a police officer, do you typically wear a body-worn camera?
I do.
Okay. You don't have one on today, though, do you?
I do not.
Okay. But as a patrol officer, you typically do have a body-worn camera, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And on October 29th, 2022, did you have your camera on?
Yes.
And do you know if your camera was recording?
It was.
Okay. Your Honor, permission to approach the witness?
May.
So, Detective, I'm going to hand you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 5. Would you please take a look at this?
Yes, sir.
And you recognize that?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
I reviewed this.
Okay.
CD.
And when you reviewed it, after you reviewed it, did you do anything to this?
Yes.
What did you do?
I initialed and dated the CD.
Okay. And other than audio being removed, is it a fair and accurate representation of your some of your body-worn camera footage from that day in question?
Yes, it is.
At this point, I would move State's Exhibit 5 into evidence.
Any objection to 5?
No objection, Your Honor.
Without objection, 5 is admitted. Mr. Lowe?
Permission to approach and publish?
Yes.
Indicate, would you have to press a button? What do you have to do?
There's a couple ways that our body cameras will initiate. One of them is by us actually tapping the button. The other is with our lights. I'm not positive how this body camera was activated that day.
Okay. But it's actually going to record you actually driving to the scene.
Yes.
Now, noticed that your gun is drawn. Why is your gun drawn?
Due to the nature of the call.
And where on your body is your camera placed?
Typically about chest level.
Okay. So wherever your chest is pointing, then that is where your camera is pointing. Is that the idea?
Yes.
Okay. Now, without saying anything that anybody is saying, what is happening right now?
So at this point in time, this is part of that clarification process that I testified to, where I was contacting dispatch and ensuring that we were at the correct address.
And did the residents of the house, did they appear surprised to see police?
Yes, the mother was very surprised.
And at this point, what is happening?
The deceased is discovered in there. And then there's some communication. I think I communicate with dispatch a little bit about getting paramedics and informing them of what's going on.
Do other officers arrive on the scene?
Yes, multiple officers.
Now, without saying what anybody is saying, what is happening in this scene?
There is some discussion about how to properly clear the structure.
And when you say how to properly clear, when you say to clear the structure, what do you mean by clear it?
Yes, to get into the structure, ensure that there's nobody else, things like that.
Okay. And at this point, has another agency arrived on the scene?
Yes, those are the paramedics, firefighters with the city.
All right. And do you know if they were able to provide any life-saving measures?
I do not.
So it looks like you've switched your placement to sort of in the doorway of the main house without saying what anyone is saying, what is occurring.
Yes, I'm asking one of the residents to exit the home, and then in a short time you'll see that she's detained.
Are you able to see what is on that person's shirt?
Some writing. This is my happy place.
Okay. And do you know who that person is?
Yes,
Who is that?
Kiara McCulley.
Okay. And then the other person not with any of the agencies, do you know who that person is?
Yes.
Who is that?
That is Lanny McCulley, the mother of Kiara.
What is happening here?
She's putting on shoes.
And when you say she, who do you mean?
So the mother's going to help Kiara here in a bit put on her shoes.
So based on the circumstances, why is Lanny McCulley having to help Kiara put shoes on?
Based off of the information and the deceased that was just located, all of this coupled together, we had reason to believe that Kiara was involved.
Okay. So were handcuffs placed on her?
Yes.
And until she was someplace secure, were those handcuffs going to come off?
Yes. Once we arrived at the Santa Fe Police Department.
Okay. At this point, are you or anyone else asking any questions of Lanny McCulley or Kiara McCulley?
At this point in time, no. I think the only conversation that I may have had with her would been obtaining her personal information, either here or a little bit later.
And what's happening? What happened right there?
I was directing her outside of the property back to the front where my vehicle was so that I could seat her in there.
So I want to talk a little bit about the procedure that you take before you put someone into your vehicle. Do you pat them down or do you frisk them?
Yes. So I believe there was 2 initial times where I did like a quick pat search of her. I would pull her out of my vehicle at a later point in this video and completely check her person for anything once we're getting ready to get transported.
Okay. And did you find anything on her person?
I don't recall finding anything on her.
If you had found anything on her person, would you have let her keep it or would you have confiscated it?
It depends on what it was. If it was like personal effects, say ID wallet, typically we'll take possession of it, but then we will book them into the jail with it and they'll get it at a later time.
Okay. And at this point, are you taking down identifying information from Kiara McCulley?
Yes, this is what I had spoken to about gathering her identifying information.
So did you eventually take Kiara McCulley to the police station?
Yes, I transported her myself.
All right. Did you have any contact at all with anyone by the name of Isaac Apodaca that day?
I recall seeing him at the police department. I don't think we had any conversation or anything.
Once you got to the police station with Kiara McCulley, what, if anything, did you do with her?
Yes, we have a holding cell. I placed her in the holding cell, turned on the camera for that holding cell. And then sometime later, when detectives requested to interview her, then I escorted her up to one of our interview rooms.
Okay.